Hello, fairy finders and fairy seekers. Welcome to FaerieQuest and another episode of Search for Fairies with me. We're coming into the present with a picture that is actually from May 26th, 2021 and taken at the Mystic Trail or Heart of Iowa Trail in Rhodes, Iowa. And we're going to see if we can find any fairies in the photos. The foliage has gotten a lot thicker since the early spring, so it might be a little harder to find fairies in it, maybe a little easier. So I guess we will see. So we'll put it up to 200% here, which is where I like to search. Makes it a little easier to see them. And let's see what we can find here. And if you hear any squeaky kind of growling noises in the background, that is my Chihuahua who is snoring. He's across the room, but we'll see how sensitive my microphone is. All right, so continuing across. It was actually a really gorgeous day that day, and we came across bushes and bushes filled with honeysuckle and went back later on to get some honeysuckle, and I have that drying in the back room now. Actually, you can see the honeysuckle hanging right here, all these little yellow bits. And there were white ones too. The yellow ones are just a little bit older, probably about halfway through their life, but still sweet. And so anyway, they're drying in the back room because they make excellent tea for many different things, anti-inflammatory, many things, and are great for fevers. The tea is great for fevers. So much more. All right, so moving up the picture, and yes, I chose a spot right here. Didn't find any fairies in that one. So let's see here. I'd like to find at least one really clear fairy. And remember, always look on the tree trunks and in the shapes of the light, in the shapes of the bark, because they like to hide, or blend, I should say, into those. Not seeing anything at the current moment. So, moving across. I kind of would have thought that they'd, be very much around the honeysuckle, because that would be a great source of food at this time. But maybe they've picked a lot and have had their share, because the bushes were really loaded. We wanted to go back and get more, but the next day got very cold, and I'm thinking that perhaps since we had a few really cold days, the honeysuckles might actually be no good anymore, but not certain. Okay, I'm just going to use this right here to move up to the next tier. And again, first thing I do is kind of look in the branches, because that is my Chihuahua huffing. A car went by. All right, so first thing I do is look in the branches. Not really seeing anything in the branches, but I might see one right here who has blended kind of cartoonish like in there. So I'm going to drop this down to 100%. Keep my eye on it, and kind of pull it out so that you can see it as well. And then enlarge it for you. And I may go more than 100 just for the purpose of, we'll try 100 first. I think we're gonna have to go more than that. So we'll go 200 bigger and see if you can see that better. And maybe one more for you, because okay, so it's going to skew a little bit too much if I do any more. But what I'm seeing here is a blended in and cartoonish like, but we can see a conical witch's hat here. Okay. And here's a face. There's an eye, a nose, and part of the actual robe, gown, comes swinging here. So we have almost a full body, but the leaf is in the way. But I love the hat, and the hat's what actually stood out. And then as I followed it down, then the gown stood out. Then the face came forth. I do believe we might have hands here, but it's too blurry to tell. So we have a traditionally dressed witch here. And I say traditionally because this is kind of the image that most people get due to television or movies as to what and how a witch dresses. Of course, we know that's not factual, but it may have been at one time. All right, so let's start. We'll take that back down to 200 here, and we're going to outline it. There she is. Okay, right there. I'm going to outline it so that we know where to find it again. Kind of want the red. I like the red because it shows up nicely. All right, so she is outlined now. And we will take it back up to 200%. Go back down to the start because we had not gotten all the way through that tier that we were working on. So we're going to use this little dot here, right here, to move up. Oh wait, 200%. Sorry, thought I was already there. All right, there we go. All right, so let's get it moved over a titch. All right, so we're going to use, we'll just go this little spot right here to move up. Right there. And then we need to move up one more tier. So we'll use this little dot, which is just the tip of that branch. All right, so here she is right here. So now we're going to continue moving across and see if perhaps there's any other fairies that would like to show themselves for us. See, and sometimes, you know, she's only at 200%, but she's pretty clear here. Her face wasn't really, the facial features weren't that great in enlarged, you know, when I was making her bigger, but when they're so small to start with, it's really hard to show them clearly in a video. Lots and lots of honeysuckle. All right, so nothing in that tier. So we only have a little bit left here. Moving up, see the rest, so we can get the top of the trees here, which I'd never want to skip because sometimes there are some pretty good fairies up there that are showing more of themselves than some of the ones lower down even. Maybe it's because they think we just won't look up. Could be that. Okay, so we only have one in that photograph, and I'm going to take the size down on this, and because of that, if you have time, I would like to go through one more. So that was 0895. I'd like to go through 0896 and see if we have anything in this one. These are two that I had not previously gone through, so I kind of like to do ones that with you that I have not done just because. And as always, in any of these pictures, if you see something that I don't, please feel free to leave a comment and do your best to describe where the fairy might have been, because it is not that difficult to miss them when doing a video. I probably go through faster than I would normally go through, so it is possible that I don't see them as I normally would. And I will probably go back through these photographs anyway after the video, and if I find any other ones, I'll put them at the end of the video. Despite the nice day, it seems we have some shy fairies. Okay, using this spot right here to move up right there. All right. I like this, the way that these branches of the tree, and it is a kind of a pile. It's just a really cool look. And I always look through here just to be sure. Now it could be someone blending here, but it's just not enough to know for sure. Not enough body, I guess you could say. It looks like a head, but it doesn't look like I can even make out a body. So just moving forward, moving on. Continuing to look in the lights, the darks. A whole bunch more honeysuckle. The in-between colors. See if there's anything that is going to stand out. Oh my. Few and far between so far, aren't they? Okay, so let's do the last part of the photograph, the upper portion. Oh, maybe not. I thought we were on the last tier, but we're not. So my mistake, sorry about that. So we're gonna go 1. Now we'll go up one more. We'll use this little green dot here. 2. All right, let's see if there's anything up here. Anybody hiding from us up here? Trees have such wonderful character. Now here is one that I believe is blending quite nicely, but doesn't look as 3D as I often find, but that's okay. Not all of them do, but this one is adorable. All right, so we're going to take it up large enough for you to see, so we'll go right away to 301, see if that helps. Let's try 4 and see. Oh, well, for the sake of the video anyway. All right, so what I see here is the hole that was in the tree, okay? Here is the little pointy head, right here. And we have an eye here, and an eye here, and a nose, and a chin. Cute little one. Might even be a hand here hanging on to something, but it is very 2D. So, but almost like the old-time Cupid doll hairstyle in a way. Not one of the best ones that we've had, but we can definitely see her. She's right here. So I'm going to quick outline her because I haven't had a lot of luck today, so we're going to take what we can get in this case. All right, so outlined. Now let's take it back up to the 200% mark. And we got to start over down at the bottom so that we're scrolling the same way in the same location. Okay, so we're using this right here to move up, and I'm going to move up using this green dot here to the next tier where we found that one. All right, so scrolling over. So there she is. And we're going to continue on here. Sometimes the ones up in the trees are so clear. And again, maybe it's because they think that, you know, we don't look up that often, and we probably don't. Many of us probably hardly ever look up. We're very busy watching where we're going, so we're not necessarily looking up. All right, so not seeing anything else there. Let's move up one more time for the rest of the photograph. And I'm not really seeing anyone. As clearly as I would like. Oop. All right, so it looks like we have found 2 in these photos. We have this little one here, which we can actually see pretty good even at 200%. And it might be such a thing as these might be her fingers. She's got her arm wrapped around. We can't see her arm itself, but it's like she's holding on right here. A little clearer that way. And then we've also got the witch. And I will take her back up to 200%. So right there she is. So I appreciate you going through the photos with me, looking for fairies. And again, if you find Any that I haven't found, please try and let me know where they might be in the photo, and I will take a look. So until next time, take care.